Okay, gonna be straight up honest. I have no script going into this one. I have absolutely zero concepts of what this video is going to look like, but I wanted to just straight up be honest and get into something with you guys, which is I feel like my plans going into 2025 are not at the level I want them to be. I feel like the things I've been doing lately have been almost going through the motions, and I'm not dedicating myself enough to my training or dedicating myself enough to a realistic training to where it keeps me wanting to push more. I feel like I went into 2025 with these massive aspirations and I wanted these incredible leaps because I've been working on inching just closer and closer to better progress, but I wanted something really tangible, but I wanted that way too early. I wanted these massive leaps and bounds of progress, and I'll demonstrate that to you guys. So, first, I want to look at the game plan that I made. There's a video of where I went over this at the very beginning of the year, and these were the main goals: bench 225 and squat 405. I wanted the even 2 plates and 4 plates for both of those massive lifts. And I set this goal as, this tangible thing because I've gotten close to both of those things before, and I figured making manageable progress like this I'd be able to reach that goal fairly fast, fast enough. But what I wasn't taking into account is I am still in school, and this is not like a job for me. I'm not a professional bodybuilder. I'm just a dude trying to make stuff happen, but this YouTube channel thing, it's a hobby on the side. It's not something I'm fully pushing all the way, just maximizing my body all the time. I don't have a gym that's open 24/7. I don't have all these resources and all these, I don't use any supplements, any steroids, anything like that. Making these kinds of gigantic leaps, it's not realistically attainable when A, I am only 157, I think, right now, and I'm trying to do almost 3 times as much of my body weight in squat and then just a lot more in bench than I weigh. Two, that I set the progress so quickly. I increasing in 5 pounds, but doing the same amount of reps, every single month, and then 15 pounds for squat. That is a massive jump, um, you know, month to month. And then three, my diet has been faltering. Now, I want to be as open as possible with you guys. Post cut, I've fallen into a rut. I've fallen into this cycle of not eating healthy, and that has demonstrated itself in poor ways because I was so strict with my cut that when I gave myself a little bit of leniency, I didn't go crazy, but I gave myself so much lack of structure that, my lifts are not up to the level of progress that I want them to be. If I'm eating clean and I'm eating like I'm supposed to, then getting enough hydration and stuff, then yeah, I'm obviously going to be progressing. Being honest and being open and realistic, that has not been happening. And I have not vocalized that enough, and I have not put that in front of myself enough to realistically attain all these things that are on the screen in front of you. Setting like a weight limit such as this, setting something that is A, unobtainable, but also B, so analytical, so numbers focused, just setting all my value into one number for the end of the year. You don't get to a goal like that by setting something so analytical. Obviously, for my body weight and stuff, I gained 5 pounds of muscle. That very much so worked for me, but I structured other parts of my life and I stayed up to those standards, and I made it more realistic. This was pushing a little bit, injecting a little bit of unrealisticness into my goals to try and push something out of me. But in reality, my stuff has been my progress has been faltering. And I realized recently I've had to take a step back from the gym and revitalize everything. Look at my progress and see what is missing, what is lacking, what is not working for my physique, what is not working for me in general. And I realized this was the first problem that I encountered. Now, moving forward, I want to talk about the tracking of my lifts. So I have my routines obviously set up, but I want to show you more of the why of how, the genesis of this problem came to be. And first off, it's mainly because of graphing. There's a very noticeable tracking in how much weight I'm pushing, but what you can't see on these charts and stuff is the quality of my reps. So, I mean, you got right up around November, I'm pushing major weight. So November 7th, if we go back down to that and look at November 7th, I'm doing a crazy amount of reps. These are high reps for when I'm doing hip stuff. And so I drop it back down and start focusing on like heavier sets with better form. And so you see it's much slower progress, but the quality of my reps is improved. And that's, what I'm trying to replicate with all of my lifts. And so that works for different side stuff like hip abductors. If we look at hamstring curls, you'll see that it's been kind of like steady progress. You have these, big dips where I might have a bad day or two, but I always keep it back up to that level. I slowly work on my form. I slowly bring it back up. Weight increases will have temporary dips, but then they'll move back up. You got to become very proficient at understanding this data when you're reading it. And that's where I started to see the problems on my major lifts. So if we look at squat, all over the place. We can't even get a sense of what's going on, and we need to track why. So when I first started tracking squat, this is back in the fall, right when I start college lifting, and so I'm lifting this crazy amount of weight, crazy amount of reps, but my form is poor, and so I realize I need to go deep on squat. I don't need to be doing half reps and stuff. The quality of this is crap. But when you look at it on a graph, it looks like I'm progressing a lot. It looks like I just was doing this major heavy weight and then I sunk back down again. But that's not the true story. These graphs don't tell the quality of the reps. And that is what you need to understand when you're tracking your lifts. You need to make sure you're searching for that quality, because the growth is based on the quality. It's not based on how much weight you push. How much weight you push might sound great on paper. It might sound great in a conversation, but where's the quality of those reps? That is what is like imperative about this weightlifting journey. You don't build, a good body by doing cheat curls and stuff every single workout. And so here I drop down the weight, but then I like slowly make steady progress. I'm building it back up, but then I'm like dropping at certain points. And this might have been a really good day, and there might have been like really bad days, like down here as I'm slowly like starting to ramp up. There might be days where I stay stagnant, between these 2 days it's pretty much the same, but it also drops at certain points. There's skipped workouts and stuff from February 10th to February 26th. That's more than 2 weeks. Like, I'm not doing it every week. I'm not getting the reps in that I need. There's certain gaps between the different data and stuff. And same thing if we go back and look at a chest day. Let's pull it up here. So look at barbell bench press. It's all over the freaking place. You got, I'm slowly working up to these different things, but then I drop back down to try and do good form. I slowly work up. I have a couple bad days. I work it back up again. I have a couple bad days. These massive gaps. It's more than just, a bad day or two. We're having back-to-back progress just all over the place. The progress is not, standard. And even when you're accounting for me trying to improve the quality of my reps, it's not mappable straight up progress, because with other things, I employ this one tactic, which is just trying to improve things by like one rep at a time. I used to follow that so religiously on my cut. I knew I wasn't going to have huge progress because I was dropping, body mass, but I realized if I just go one rep at a time, like I just go to the next workout, increase things by like one rep, then I'll slowly just build up and build up and build up. And that is what I tried to do for so long, is just hone that quality and hone very, very gradual progress. But That's the problem if we go back and look at the game plan. There is no gradual progress here. The progress is you have to hit these certain progresses, but my workouts didn't account for that. I couldn't move up at such this, I guess, dastardly weight and dastardly, um, I guess, gap in between what I can do now and what I wanted to do. And so giving myself such a lofty expectation ultimately actually plunged me into this series of unintentionally poor lifts. And I wasn't hitting all my days. And for a couple of these past weeks, I would, skip certain sets here or there. And then that just diminishes my quality if I'm not doing these things week after week, or if I'm not doing it between at least a 2 to 3 week period at least once. Then what is the point? What is the point of training that one muscle group? And it also helps to reason that when I started trying to increase my bench and my squat, I did not account for trying to increase my bench and squat in the way that is positive. I didn't add any extra chest movements really at the start of all this. I didn't add any extra leg or quad work, any extra work to pump myself up to those levels. So this is the ultimatum of this whole situation. I need to take a step back and I need to revitalize my plan. Something isn't working here. You can see it in the data. You can see it in the goals I've set. You can see it in my progress, and just overall I can feel it. And as an audience, you guys might be able to feel it too, seeing me, ego lift certain weight. That's not what I want to promote. That's not what I want to have happen while we're working out. So it is time for me to revitalize my plan. I'll go through and explain the whole workout plan that I have now, and then I'm going to spend time revitalizing it right now before I go forward with this week's lifts. And I want to take you guys in that behind the scenes progress, because I need you to know that it's not all about how much weight you can push if you're trying to craft a good body, if you're trying to craft good strength. It is 100% about nutrition. It is 100% about the quality of your reps, combined with very, very gradual, small, measured progressive overload. Obviously, you're going to lose a little bit of ego. You're going to lose a little bit of pride, because you might be the most dedicated lifter ever, but your friends can bench so much more than you. They party and they slack off and they don't eat right, but other people are going to be moving more weight than you, and that can feel crushing. And that's why I prompt myself to try and do these other things. It's why you prompt yourself to be like, no, I want to actually hit the weight that they're hitting and only focus on that. That is not the whole picture you need to set for yourself. That is not the whole picture I need to set for myself. So looking at this so far, I have 2 tricep movements, I have 3 chest movements, and then I have a trap movement for my chest and triceps day. So it's a good hearty split of different things, and that's what I kind of continue to try and do with these things. I try to put more emphasis on the muscles that are the biggest and supplement other things. So back and biceps day, we have back, so that's 1. We have a bicep, so that's 1 for biceps. We have a back, which is 2 for back. We have another back, which is 3. And then we have another curl, and then we have kind of another back thing. Rear delt rows are kind of, I consider them their own other thing, but we have 4 back things and 2 bicep things. It's just relational based on how big those muscle groups are. Legs, I like to get some stretching and stuff in, but we have all the different parts that make up the bulk of your leg. But here's my main thing with why my squat wasn't working. I only had basically 2 quad focused things. I went pretty ham on squat, but pistol squats was mostly for my knee and ankle stability. It wasn't growing my quads enough to support such squat growth, or such big back squat growth. And then you only have 2 hamstrings, you only have 1 calf thing. I don't really need to grow my calves all too much, but having as much hamstring growth as quad growth, well, there's just an unevenness there, because you need more quad than hamstring stuff. You need to allocate for all these different muscles and isolate and hit certain things. And so my target muscles, I really, really tried to focus on shoulders because my shoulders were lagging behind. And this is actually something I can say that is a positive. I have grown my shoulders. I'll do a physique check and show you guys. There's actual physical benefit to focusing so much on shoulders here, and it actually transformed my physique a little bit. But I just threw in abs here, and they weren't really functional that much. I had a small, just functional forearm thing, but it wasn't really truly growing much except my grip strength. And then my back extension, that was definitely beneficial for lower back and helping, squat stability. But all in all, my target muscle stay was just a hodgepodge. There wasn't a focus on it if I was trying to grow other aspects of my lifts. So target muscle stay was beneficial for shoulders, but not much else. And then cardio and abs, I've liked the cardio I've done so far, but the main benefit of it is just getting my heart rate up and just being consistent with it. But if I'm wanting to actually grow my lungs, if I'm wanting to actually grow my abs and stuff, if I'm not sticking to clean eating like I was in the past, what is the point of eating training abs? There's not going to be any physical, benefit or allocation to abs. I can do ab wheels in my dorm and see them pop out a little bit. I can do these different ab things and see them, I can see the pump, but beyond that, it's just excess body fat that's hanging off the side. You're not going to see those abs pop out unless you're at a low enough body fat percentage. And I have not been at a low enough body fat percentage. I've not let myself go, but yeah, I've added 2 extra pounds, and it's probably just, straight up fat from getting back to enjoying food again. But I have not felt the best since not clean eating again. I wanted to get back to clean eating, and I still want to, and have been doing that for the past, week and a half now. I want to get back to the routine of having a cheat day, but the rest of the time eating to feel good. And so basically, top to bottom, all of this stuff needs a workaround. All of it needs a greater focus if I'm going to increase my bench and squat. And going into it now, I don't even have a goal for the end of the year. And I think that is okay. So that might be a crazy statement to some people because everyone goes to the gym with a goal. But I really reached my goal by gaining more, muscle through bulking and cutting. But bulking and cutting was so mentally taxing. And it's not been very mentally taxing to go through the motions of a workout. And I think that's why I set in these last, 2 months into such a routine at the beginning of the year, just going through this, going through that, not really paying much attention, just always getting my filming and working out in. But, screw all that. There's no intention behind that. There's no passion. There's nothing put into that. There's nothing behind that. And so I'm done with that. I'm tired of that stuff. And so I'm revitalizing all of this stuff to produce better videos, to produce more intentional lifting, and to build my body in a stronger way. Starting from, what is today, March 2nd? Starting from now, it's revitalizing to, okay, there is no summer cut. There is no summer bulk. There is no wanting to do anything except increase the physicality and purpose within my workouts. And I'll throw up a clip right in here from Kai that was really kind of inspiring me a lot lately about the quality of reps. Go ahead and throw it right here. Okay, and so like that all the way to the max, just understanding that you don't have to be the biggest, most ego-filled guy in the room. You don't have to have the biggest, output on paper to be considered the best bodybuilder. And it's hard for me to even identify myself as a bodybuilder because I like the gym mostly for fun. I do all of this stuff because it's entertaining, it's interesting, it helps me feel better to build my body to this level, and it also helps me hone my craft of making great YouTube content and videos because I love making videos about this stuff. But as I make better videos, it's always occurring to me I need to be more honest, I need to be more purposeful. And if I'm making a difference in the world, I cannot strive to be putting just either A, my worst self out there, or B, my most mediocre baseline self. Because if I'm putting just someone on camera that is going through the motions, what is the point of that? Why would you guys even want to watch that? No one wants to watch that. I don't want to watch that. I want to produce an output of lifting and of making videos that makes myself truly a better person, that makes you guys truly better people. So you can see, oh, he does this and this here. So I can talk about, okay, this is the intention of what I'm doing. I'm really striving to hit the bottom of this bicep curl by going all the way down. I'm focusing on isolating the triceps by trying to tilt my elbows in and go up. So I think now the best thing to go forward with is seeing what parts of my physique need to be updated and putting that into the target muscles day. And then from there, also just revitalizing my entire plan to understand that I don't really have a goal with bench and squat, but if I'm wanting to increase leg strength and chest strength, here's how I do it. Here is how I switch up from time to time. Here is where I have intentional movements. That's the whole game here. We want to set those intentional movements. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then I will show you guys what I've produced afterwards. Okay, so this is the result I've come to after working everything out. So just looking at everything, this is what chest and triceps is going to look like. I'll go ahead and just do a quick breakdown of it because this video is already getting long enough as it is. We got 3 sets of 10, tricep extension, basically the same as it has been. We have bench press, but this is going to be my slow negative day. So it'll be start at 145. I forgot to kind of write that, but starting at 145 is what we're going to be doing, and it'll just be like 4 sets of 8, and we do our pause reps at the very bottom. Well, I don't know why I did that. And then we got shrugs, 3 sets of 10 like normal, cable crossovers normal, dumbbell press is normal, except now we've added a 3rd set onto dumbbell press. And then tricep dips are the same, but all of this weight is adjusted to be less ego lifting, and you'll see similar thing with back and biceps. We got pull-ups is the same, hammer curls is the same, lat pull-downs is the same, but I've adjusted, to make it more accurate with my tracking. Rear delt rows same, preacher curls same, chest supported rows. Like back and biceps stayed completely the same, literally no changes with it, basically. But then when we come to legs, that's when we see like our first huge changes. So hip abductors, pretty much the same. Back squat, we tone down the weight massively, try to really hone our back squat performance based on the other day when my back squat wasn't the best. Seated hamstring curls, calf raises, but now since I'm trying to raise my squat and stuff, we need to add leg extensions to get that quad focus work. So I'll be adding in leg extensions instead of back extensions. Actually leg extensions instead of pistol squats, and then I do like pistol squats kind of on my own afterwards. So leg extensions kind of has replaced pistol squats as the quad focus work because pistol squats are less quad focused. They're more like knee and ankle stability, which I can just do that on my own time. I do pistol squats and an ab roller after workouts. So that's just going to be an always thing. So I'll be improving my quads and my knee instability and stuff all at once. And then target muscles, I've actually added, it used to be only 5 workouts. I've actually added a workout to it to even further my progress with bench, or, improving my legs and improving squat and bench. So shoulder press, same as normal. Farmer's walk, same as normal for forearm work. But now we add leg press. We add leg press to basically, hone that quad work. And then we have cable lateral raises, pretty much the same. Back extension, pretty much the same. And then bench press, when we do that, we're benching heavy. So now heavy bench press day starts right here. So now we have like a six workout target muscles day. So that format looks probably the most different out of anything. I'm trying to remember specifically what I replaced leg press or bench press with, but I really like the way my shoulders were getting 3D from shoulder press and cable lateral raises, so I want to keep that. I feel like Farmer's Walks has the functional forearm work that I want, and then the other things are just working on leg press and heavy bench press, are working on getting my bench and squat up. But we're doing this not in a completely targeted way. It's not like I'm trying to. It's not like I'm completely trying to override progress and get to a weight limit. I'm just doing it to do it, the same as things were before. And so cardio, oh, I know what it was. I had more ab work in my target muscles day, and I've pushed the more ab work to cardio. And cardio is going to be kind of less intense, but it'll be more regimented. So jump rope to get my calves warmed up after I get a good stretch in. My jump rope game has been insane lately, and the speed has been getting better, so that's why we're starting at 200 reps. And then before I was doing treadmill on my cardio day, but now I'm just straight up running. I found that running gets my heart rate up more and lets me be more intentional with what I'm doing. So working on running around the track at the gym, hanging leg raises for lower abs, Russian twist for obliques, Stairmaster to get the good knee stability cardio and quad development, and also just, training a different form of cardio and bike. So less like middle ab work on my actual cardio and ab days. I'm working on the supportive muscles to middle ab stuff, and then middle ab comes mostly from my ab roller. So basically everything that's missing in my new plan is all going to be built on me doing pistol squats and ab roller basically after every single workout. So that's going to be kind of like the new setup, the new split, and it is a little bit different than before, but I feel like with this way, I get more of a focus on some things that are lagging behind, some things that I want to grow more proportionally. I get to emphasize things that I'm liking the growth already, like my shoulders and different bicep work and stuff. And I think the only thing really, in my opinion, that might be totally missing from it is distinctive forearm work, because when I do farmer's walks, that is purely for carrying strength, like for functional forearm strength. That's why I keep saying functional. It's when I'm carrying stuff. It helps train my grip and stuff like that. But I don't have anything that's actually developing forearm strength, like pull downs like this or like wrist curls or anything. I don't have anything like that. So that's the only gap I feel like I have in here. But for the rest of this, I'm very confident in it. So I appreciate you guys watching this overview video, and I think this will help me a lot going forward with what my plan looks like. So yesterday, actually, this is filmed a couple days afterwards, after I've tested out some of these things, chest and triceps went crazy good, back and biceps went crazy good, so you guys are going to see some great lifts upcoming. So I'll catch you in those, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.